Everything we thought we knew about the Giza pyramids may be wrong. Rising from the burning sands of Egypt, these colossal structures have stood for over 4,500 years, silent, immovable, and seemingly eternal. For centuries, they have been explained as tombs, monuments built to honor dead kings. But what if that explanation is only the surface of something far more profound? What if these pyramids were never meant to house the dead, but to harness a force we still barely understand today? Across decades, scientists, engineers, and independent researchers have uncovered strange alignments, unexplained energy properties, and mathematical precision that defies primitive construction. The deeper we look, the more unsettling the questions become. Were the ancient Egyptians preserving the past, or protecting a forgotten technology? And if so, what exactly was it designed to do, and why does it still matter now? The desert is silent. Wind sweeps across the Giza plateau, whispering over stone that has endured since before recorded history. And there, cutting into the sky with impossible precision, stands the Great Pyramid, once the tallest structure on Earth for nearly 4,000 years. But what truly makes it extraordinary isn't its size. It's what we still cannot explain. For generations, we've been told a simple story. These pyramids were tombs, built by tens of thousands of workers using basic tools, designed to guide a pharaoh's soul into the afterlife. It sounds logical. It feels complete. But when you step closer, when you truly examine the evidence, that story begins to fracture. No inscriptions inside the Great Pyramid. No burial artifacts. No hieroglyphic texts describing rituals or journeys into the afterlife. Unlike every other confirmed Egyptian tomb, this structure is eerily silent. Empty. As if its true purpose was never meant to be recorded. Then comes the precision. Each block of limestone and granite, some weighing up to 80 tons, fitted so perfectly that even modern tools struggle to replicate the alignment. The pyramid is oriented almost perfectly to true north, with an error margin of less than a fraction of a degree. Even today, with satellite technology, achieving such accuracy is not trivial. And then, the numbers. The dimensions of the Great Pyramid encode mathematical relationships that echo constants we use to describe the universe itself. The ratio of its perimeter to its height approximates the value of pi. Its alignment mirrors the cardinal points with astonishing accuracy. Some researchers argue that its position corresponds with Earth's landmass distribution, placing it at the approximate center of the planet's land. Coincidence? Or intention? As the questions deepen, so does the mystery. Inside the pyramid, strange chambers and narrow shafts stretch into darkness, their purpose unclear. Some align with specific stars. Others seem to serve no obvious function at all. Yet when scientists measure these spaces, something unexpected appears. The King's Chamber, constructed entirely from massive granite blocks, exhibits acoustic properties that amplify certain frequencies. When sound is introduced, the chamber vibrates, subtly, but measurably. Granite itself contains quartz, a material known for its piezoelectric properties, the ability to convert mechanical pressure into electrical energy. Now imagine this. A structure built with millions of tons of stone, aligned with the earth, tuned to specific frequencies, capable of interacting with natural forces we barely understand. Suddenly, the idea of a tomb feels insufficient. What if the pyramid was not a resting place, but a machine? Not symbolic, but functional? Not designed for the dead, but for energy? And if that's true, then we are not looking at a monument to the past. We are looking at evidence of a technology we have forgotten. The question is no longer how the pyramids were built. The question is, why? The deeper scientists looked, the more the Great Pyramid began to resemble something unsettlingly familiar, not a monument, but a system. Not built randomly, but engineered with purpose. And at the center of that possibility lies something invisible, yet fundamental to our world: energy. Beneath the Giza Plateau flows a natural network of underground water channels. These aquifers, moving slowly through the limestone bedrock, generate subtle vibrations, natural frequencies produced by the motion of water under pressure. To most structures, this would mean nothing. But to a structure precisely tuned, it could mean everything. Researchers have proposed that the pyramid's internal chambers act like components of a massive resonant device. The subterranean chamber, carved deep into the bedrock, sits directly above these flowing waters. Some believe it functioned as a kind of base frequency generator, capturing the Earth's natural vibrations. Above it, the Grand Gallery, with its steep, ascending passage and corbelled walls, may have acted as a waveguide, amplifying and directing those vibrations upward. Then there is the King's Chamber. Built entirely of granite, a material rich in quartz crystals, it sits at the heart of the pyramid like a core. Quartz is not just stone. Under pressure, it produces electrical charge. This phenomenon, known as piezoelectricity, is used in modern technology, from watches to advanced sensors. But here, in the center of a 4,500-year-old structure, it appears on a scale that borders on the unimaginable. Now imagine the process. Vibrations from underground water rise through the structure. The pyramid's geometry focuses and amplifies these frequencies. The granite chamber, under immense pressure from the weight above, converts mechanical stress into electrical energy. The entire structure begins to behave, not like a tomb, but like a generator. And then, another anomaly emerges. Electromagnetic studies of the Great Pyramid have revealed that it can concentrate energy in specific internal regions. In 2018, a team of researchers using advanced simulations discovered that the pyramid interacts with electromagnetic waves in ways that suggest it was designed to focus energy into its chambers and beneath its base. In other words, it doesn't just sit on the Earth. It interacts with it. But for what purpose? Some theories suggest the pyramid may have been part of a larger energy network, one that tapped into the Earth's natural forces and redistributed them. Others speculate it could have been used to transmit energy wirelessly, long before the concept existed in modern science. The idea sounds radical. But so did the idea of wireless communication, until it became reality. And then comes the most disturbing twist. There is no clear evidence that the ancient Egyptians, as we understand them, possessed the technology required to design such a system. No tools. No transitional prototypes. No records explaining experimentation or failure. It appears, fully formed. As if the knowledge was inherited, not invented. Which raises a question that historians struggle to answer. If the pyramids were machines, who taught humanity how to build them? Because if this was technology, it didn't begin here. And whatever its true purpose was, we may have only uncovered the first layer of something far older, and far more advanced than we ever imagined. If the Great Pyramid was not a tomb, but a machine, then everything we believe about ancient civilization begins to shift beneath our feet. History is no longer a straight line of progress, from primitive to advanced. It becomes something far more unsettling. A cycle. A rise, and a fall, repeated over time. Because to accept that the pyramid functioned as an energy system is to accept something even more profound, that ancient humans may have once understood forces we are only now beginning to rediscover. Not symbolically, not spiritually, but scientifically. And then comes the deeper implication. What if this knowledge wasn't lost by accident? Throughout history, civilizations have collapsed, sometimes slowly, sometimes violently. Libraries burned. Languages vanished. Entire systems of understanding erased in a single generation. If a culture once possessed advanced knowledge of energy, resonance, and Earth-based power systems, how much of it would survive a global catastrophe? Very little. The pyramid would remain silent, intact. But the instructions, gone. And so, for thousands of years, humanity may have stood in the shadow of a machine, without realizing it was a machine at all. But there's something even more unsettling. Because if the pyramid interacts with the Earth, if it draws from natural forces, focuses them, amplifies them, then it is not just a relic of the past. It is part of a system that still exists. The Earth still vibrates. Water still flows beneath the plateau. The same physical laws are still in motion. Which means, the pyramid may not be off. It may simply be dormant. modern researchers have detected unusual electromagnetic behaviors within and around the structure. Subtle, inconsistent, but present, like a signal fading in and out of reach. Not enough to confirm activation, but enough to raise a possibility that refuses to disappear. What happens if we fully understand how it works? Do we unlock a clean, limitless energy source, one that connects directly to the natural systems of the planet? Or do we risk triggering forces we don't yet comprehend? Because harnessing energy is never just about power. It's about control, stability, balance. And history has shown, again and again, that humanity is not always ready for what it discovers. There is another possibility, one that is rarely spoken aloud. What if the pyramid was not built to generate energy, but to regulate it? To stabilize something within the earth itself? A kind of ancient safeguard, maintaining equilibrium in ways we can't yet measure. If that's true, then the question becomes far more dangerous. Not what the pyramid does, but what happens if it stops. Because civilizations rise believing they understand their world. They build, they expand, they innovate. And then, suddenly, something shifts. The systems they depend on fail. The balance breaks. And everything collapses faster than anyone thought possible. We look at the pyramids and see the past. But perhaps, they were never meant for the past at all. Perhaps they were built for us. A message carved in stone, not with words, but with design. A warning, or an invitation. Because in the end, the greatest mystery is not how the pyramids were built. It's whether we are ready to understand why. And whether humanity, this time, will remember.